ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे सहशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलो कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from chapter 2, um, verse number 66. This verse we started yesterday. A very important verse and important lessons we discussed from this verse yesterday. Nasti Nasti buddhira yuktasya nacha yuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayatah shanti asantasya kuto sukham. Hmm. So one who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Now, in this verse, Lord Krishna says, "Na asti buddhir ayuktasya." Ayuktasya means one who is not connected with me, means with Krishna, or with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. One who is not in Krishna consciousness, he cannot have buddhi or right kind of intelligence. Of course, everyone has intelligence, buddhi, but if somebody is not connected with the Supreme, so his intelligence will be means polluted intelligence, contaminated intelligence, or corrupt intelligence, and his intelligence will force him to get entangled more and more in this material existence. Such intelligence, buddhi, uh, makes the mati. Mati means consciousness instead of sati. Uh, such intelligence makes the mati kumati. Uh, or in plain words, we can say anyone who is not dedicated or nicely connected with the Supreme, his intelligence becomes a prostitute intelligence. His intelligence works like a prostitute. And this is explained in Bhagavatam. In one of the verse, it is said that just like a prostitute, a wife who becomes a prostitute, uh, she can become the cause of death of her husband, father, or son also. Bhagavatam is so clear cut about these things. It is mentioned. And who says a woman is saying like this? Urvashi. Urvashi, a woman, she says like this that one should never trust a woman who who has the nature of a prostitute. Means one who has connection with many men. So such a woman should not be trusted, and such a woman is so dangerous that she can, just for the sake of her sense gratification, she can kill her husband, her father, or her son also. That is the danger of associating or having a woman who is having connection with many men, or who is, in plain words, who is a prostitute. So sometimes when we read such statements from Bhagavatam or scriptures, so people they unnecessarily object, but one should understand very well for which kind of woman the Bhagavatam speaks like this. It is clearly stated there, one who is having connection with many men. Such kind of women or girls are dangerous, and their nature is like this. They cannot tolerate even slight offense. They become very aggressive even with slightest offense, and they can become easily seduced by any man, and for the purpose of sense gratification they can kill one's own husband, father, or son. So similarly, the intelligence is also compared with such prostitute like woman. So anybody whose intelligence is not chased towards Krishna consciousness, one whose intelligence is one who is not connected with the Supreme. uh, so his intelligence, instead of helping him, becomes a cause of his degradation in this material existence, and his intelligence causes him to be killed again and again in this material world. That buddhi, instead of being sati, that buddhi acts like a prostitute. On the other hand, uh, if uh, if a woman who is very chaste and devoted, and who strictly adheres to the principles of religion, and who is very devoted and very chaste, she becomes the cause of spiritual success for a man, uh, and she can deliver her both of her families from material existence. And she gets such immense spiritual power by which she can control the entire creation also. There are examples in the history as well, where a woman who was very chaste towards her husband or towards the Supreme Lord, she became very powerful. Uh, so similarly, the intelligence of one who is very nicely connected with the Supreme Lord, yuktasya instead of ayuktasya. If somebody is yuktasya, so such a person's intelligence becomes very chaste, devoted, dedicated, and helps the person to make a nice, rapid spiritual advancement, helps the person to control the mind. But if the person is not connected with the Supreme Lord, so such a person's intelligence becomes corrupted, and instead of making the mind under control, such a person's intelligence forces him to fulfill the dictations of the mind, because the function of the intelligence is to plan something, to discriminate, to generate ideas, how to fulfill the desires. So, if a person whose intelligence is corrupted, polluted by lusty desires, such a person will use his intelligence for fulfilling the nasty or lusty desires of the mind, and in this way, it entangles the living entity more and more into material existence. So that's why Lord Krishna says, "Nasti buddhir ayuktasya." If somebody is not properly connected with the Supreme Lord, so he can never have transcendental intelligence, or better intelligence, or pure intelligence. And somebody who doesn't have this transcendental or pure intelligence, so such a person, naja ayuktasya bhavana. So he bhavana means fixed consciousness, fixed mind. So he will not have his mind fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna, and because of which he can never attain to the peace, santi. Is um, and asantasya kutaha sukham. Asantasya means one whose mind is not peaceful, there cannot be any question of getting happiness to come. Uh, so that's why it's very necessary that we become very much fixed up uh, at the lotus feet of Krishna. And the easiest method, the simplest method is by taking a very nice firm shelter of Krishna's holy name. So yesterday we discussed in great detail that although in order to save ourselves from getting victimized by the dictation of mind, we follow certain rules and regulations very strictly. Mm. We restrict our senses, we restrict our association, and we artificially control our senses. Uh, but that is very much required also, but that is not all in all. That is not going to help one in long run. One has to simultaneously endeavor to become yukta. Yukta means properly connected with the Supreme. To develop, and what does it mean to get properly connected with the Supreme? The meaning is to develop bhavana. Bhavana means uh, deep attachment or love or affection, kind of attachment or love or affection for the Lord, Lord Krishna. So then only one will be able to conquer the dictations of the mind. Otherwise, there is every possibility with slight provocation, especially in this age of Kali. It is so degraded and so agitating environment is there everywhere, uh, that it is quite possible. It is very easy to get agitated or provoked to fulfill one's nasty sensory desires for sense gratification. So the only uh, possible way to save oneself from gliding down into the hellish condition of life. Yesterday we discussed this also, that if uh, we neglect to follow the rules and regulations of devotional principles, then and if we commit sinful activities, then there is heavy punishment. Um, one cannot just give any excuse that I was in bad association or such was the thing. No, ignorance is no excuse. One just like if suppose if somebody has done certain criminal activity, somebody has done murder or somebody has stolen, uh, somebody has done like this great criminal activity. So all those people who are connected with him, uh, his entire gang, entire friend circle is also taken into the case and they are also given punishment. Similarly, if we just remain in the association of such people who are breaking the four related principles, who are engaged in sinful activities, then naturally we also get affected. We are also doomed for this act. So that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Asat Sangha Tyagat Ei Vaishnava Achar. If somebody wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, then one must give up bad association. Uh, bad association. Bad association. In today's time, the greatest bad association is not a person in front of us. Of course, he could be or she could be if they are engaged in sinful activities. But the greatest bad association in modern time is this social media, Android phone, where there is ample opportunity to get associated with those things which hinder us. That's why those who are serious about making spiritual progress, they very carefully avoid not to associate with such elements which may trigger their deep-rooted material desire for sense gratification. Yeah. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is clearly saying that one must, by some or other, one must get fixed up at the lotus feet of Krishna by taking full shelter of Krishna's holy name, and that is possible. Then one will have very nice pure intelligence by which the person, such a devotee, is guided from within also. He is guided from within how to act in situations, in any situation. Krishna guides him, and he makes a nice spiritual progress. He goes on making spiritual advancement, and his mind gradually becomes very peaceful and settled. And over the period of time, as to the degree one starts to experience Krishna through the process of Krishna consciousness, he starts to experience spiritual bliss as well. Sukham, actual happiness. Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyam atendriya means with transcendental senses. So unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the fifth chapter, 5.29, that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and that he is the real friend of all living entities, then only can one have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. Disturbance is due to want for an ultimate goal, and when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, propagator, and friend of everyone and everything, then one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. Therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. So this is very much clear. Only when one develops relationship with Krishna, then one can achieve everlasting peace of mind and happiness. Nowadays, everyone is talking about relationship, especially this live-in relationship. Uh, because why these things are there? Because everyone desires to experience happiness and peace without any obstacle. So this marriage brings obstacles in order to get peace or satisfaction or happiness, because there are so many responsibilities, then so many up and downs, and so many things happen. So naturally, a living entity has a desire to have certain relationship where there will be no more such kind of formalities or rituals. That relationship is based on selfless, pure love. So that desire is there, which is manifested nowadays in terms of this live-in relationship. But the problem is that because people are in ignorance, so they are misguided to have this live-in relationship with someone who, instead of giving us peace of mind or happiness, rather, instead of giving peace and happiness, it entangles us more and more in performing more and more sinful activities, and thus degrading ourselves to the platform of animals to become cats and dogs and hogs. This is so dangerous. So, but actual living relationship one can have with Krishna. So, if one just makes it spiritual and develops a real relationship, our original relationship with the Supreme is with the Supreme Lord. If one develops that pure a relationship with Krishna, which has no formalities, no rituals. Of course, in the beginning, when we are not purified, so we follow certain formalities and rituals as well in order to get firmly fixed in spiritual consciousness. But when one is completely liberated from material existence and who has developed pure, unmotivated, uninterrupted, selfless love for Krishna, then there is no formalities. One can actually live with Krishna in living relationship, and that is very wonderful. That is purest form of relationship which can exist with the Supreme Lord, and that gives immense peace of mind and steady consciousness and actual happiness. So there are devotees, examples of such devotees, like Srila Madhvendra Puri. He was fixed up in pure living relationship with Krishna. So he even abandoned all the ritualistic type kind of worship and meditation and everything. He simply just meditated and chanted the holy name of Krishna, and he was completely fallen in love with Krishna. But the difference between the living relationship in this material existence and living relationship with Krishna is that such relationship with Krishna is in complete pure form, and it gives both the party transcendental bliss, and it is never broken. But whereas the living relationship in this material existence, it is the highest kind of impure activity, and it pollutes the consciousness, and it has no selflessness. It is filled with selfish desire that as long as you satisfy me, I am with you, and there is little disturbances in our my sense gratification. Be part of it. We are not together. So this is a completely selfish relationship, and also the result is it gives only miseries and miseries, and final result after death. Uh, the agents of Yamaraj are waiting for such a person to give nice welcome in hellish planet. And then after that, one is sure to accept the body of dog, hog, or cat because it is completely animalistic. Anyway, so the important point is that one should uh, become very fixed up in relationship with Krishna. Then there will be no hankering to develop any more relationship within this material world. No requirement. One will become completely free from this trouble of making a newer and newer relationship in this material existence. So, my dear devotees, how many of you have the desire to develop your relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna? Yes, so since some of the devotees have raised their hand, but for this, there is one condition Krishna puts that you have to give up your relationship, so called relationship, uh, in this material existence. Then only you can develop a pure relationship with the Supreme Lord. Now, how many of you are willing? Just see, uh, somebody has it is raised the hand, but now given up. So it's not so easy.